Hello everybody and welcome to 4-Minute Book Reviews. My name is Joe Brown and today we are reviewing The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. I loved this book and I would recommend it to anybody who is struggling with weight loss, with strength gain, with muscle gain, or a few other categories that he goes over in the book. The overall story that this book is telling is how to use the minimum effective dose to accomplish whatever it is you're trying to accomplish with your body. He gives an example in the book of tanning. If your body, let's say, takes 15 minutes in the sun to produce a melanin response, it is not going to do you any more good to stay out in the sun for 16 or 17 or 18 minutes. In fact, a person who does a few 15-minute sessions throughout the day will produce a melanin response in their skin every time they do one of those minimum effective sessions. And they are going to end up a lot more tan at the end of the day than the person who sits out in the sun for 2 or 3 hours, because the person who sits out for 2 or 3 hours will probably end up just getting a really bad sunburn, and it'll all peel off in the end anyway. That's an underlying theme throughout this book, that you need to use a minimum effective dose for whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, because anything more not only is ineffective, but might also be harmful. He has a huge section dedicated to losing weight, and I myself lost about 12 pounds in the first 2 weeks of his weight loss strategy. It's all about carbs and cutting out the simple carbs, and you also get a cheat day every week. He has a lot more nuance in this section on weight loss, and there are a lot of tips and tricks on how to blunt the glucose response in your system when you do end up having a cheat day and eat a lot of simple carbs. It is very effective, it worked for me, and I would recommend it to anybody. Some of the other sections in the book are on strength gain, muscle gain, improving your sex life, improving your sleep, and even extending your life. One of the key takeaways that I really enjoyed from this book is his coverage of nutritional science. He goes over how difficult it is to actually have good science with nutrition. Most science or studies that are studying nutritional habits or diets are observational studies. And by nature, an observational study can at best show correlation only. One example of a correlative study is looking at the correlation between the demise of pirates in the world and the rise of global warming. And as we've seen, the number of pirates over the last couple hundred years have diminished severely, but the amount of global warming has increased. The other correlation in this connection between pirates and global warming is that the one country with the most number of pirates still in the world, Somalia, has one of the lowest carbon outputs. And so as we can see, there must be a correlation between pirates and global warming, right? Obviously not. And that is very, very close to what most nutritional science and studies out there are doing, showing a correlation or finding a small connection between things that have really nothing to do with each other. One of the other key takeaways that I really enjoyed from this book was seeing the pipeline of science and how it makes its way from the lab to the general population. When nutritional science is first being rolled out, it will obviously start with the lab rats. From there, if it's effective, it'll make its way to racehorses first. After racehorses, it usually goes to bodybuilders and then to professional athletes. And after professional athletes, it finally makes its way to the general population, people like you and me. This whole pipeline takes about 20 years on average to be completed. What this means is that the science that you and I are seeing, and the studies and the methods and the technology for nutrition that you and I are using is usually about 20 years behind. If you're interested in reading this book, I've put the link to the book in the description below and you can buy it on Amazon. Thank you very much for watching and you have a great day.